I don't pay for it either. I have a pressure washer because it's way cheaper.
Right.
But I get why
Like,
people
oh,
would
this
pay
interview's
for it.
over.
Time and energy. It's time and energy, man. No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. So like,
Welcome to another episode of Tell Me About It. My name is Josiah Smith. I'm your host. This is the show where I interview various professionals to get behind-the-scenes insight into their daily lives on their jobs. Today I've got a really special guest. This is Austin Linderer, a personal friend of mine from childhood. So we were just actually talking before we started recording here. We're thinking maybe 15 to 20 years since we were last face-to-face, but cool to catch up with you, Austin, and excited to kind of talk through entrepreneurship with you. So you've got your hand in a lot of things from what we've been talking about. So I'll let you kind of start us off here. Give me the 2 minute, and I realize that's going to be difficult with how broad your world is at the moment, but try to condense it down, and then we'll go down the rabbit hole a bit.
Okay.
But give me that 2 minute pitch. If someone says like, "Hey, what do you do?" Just kind of give us the overview.
yeah, absolutely. So the main thing that I'm doing with my primary focus of what I'm building right now is a community of other like-minded individuals, people that are interested in side hustles and just kind of being high-performance individuals. They don't necessarily own their own businesses all the time, but are high-performing people. They want to maximize everything, including their finances, their fitness, their faith and mindset, all this other stuff. We're building that community. We're putting people into accountability groups that track each other's life metrics over time and help each other grow and achieve all their goals. So that's kind of like the core focus, what I've really been driving at for a very long time. I just finished writing my book. So the book is coming out in January. So we're deep in editing on the book content.
Awesome.
And in the whole publishing process and all that stuff. But yeah, and then, the main thing is kind of about side hustles and entrepreneurship, teaching people how to build extra income, things of that nature. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, give me a little bit of your background then. I assume since you're starting a business that's focused on the side hustle and training and what it sounds like maybe some accountability with starting and growing a side hustle. Tell me a little bit about your history there in that field. Some of the side hustles you've had, successes you've had, failures, and how you grew from them.
For sure. Well, I've been entrepreneurial my entire life. Even when I was a kid, probably started around middle school. Most people would have other kids from school over, and you would have like one or two other kids over to play video games, and you'd play on the Xbox or whatever. I would have 30 kids over, and they would all bring their TVs and their Xboxes and stuff. We would set up a LAN party, and I would make jerseys for everybody, and you could wear the jersey for your team, and I would have award ceremonies after the game. And
That's awesome.
I would put up, so it was like, I created the experience, you know what I mean? I took normal life and like elevated it up to the next thing. And I've just kind of done that my entire life. When I got into college, I didn't, my dad wouldn't let me get a job because he was helping me out with college, and he said he wanted me to just be focused on college. And so I started a martial arts club in the college and got other students to kind of come, and I just got my black belt, so I started teaching them. I was like, hey, for $50 a month, I'll do classes twice a week or whatever. And that
Nice, yeah.
made a couple $100, that was my play money for while I was in college, and very quickly found out that college was not the thing for me, because I was not a good rule follower. But that's kind of a thing that you will hear about a lot of entrepreneurial individuals, is that a lot of the times they don't do super good in school.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. Like a few personal friends of mine are entrepreneurs, and it's kind of the same story, seems like. So that tracks.
Right. And it's usually the rules. It's The type of person who's going to be a successful entrepreneur is the type of person that when somebody tells them a rule exists, they say why,
Yeah.
and you can't get the why out of your head, and that's not great for trying to get degrees. Right.
Right.
So
right.
they don't want you to ask why; they just want you to do it, right? But I couldn't get the why out of my head. So yeah, dropped out of school the first time, and I was like, I was still running the martial arts club and like trying to build that up, but it didn't pay the bills. So I was like, how can I make a bunch of money without a degree? And the highest paying job that I could find without a degree was law enforcement. So I went into law enforcement and I was like, that's what I can get. It'll pay the bills while I try to run this martial arts school on the side. Martial arts school was doing pretty good. I also started a firearms training company. The problem with that business is the margins are incredibly low and the insurance is incredibly high.
Okay.
So if anybody was thinking about starting a firearms training business, it's not great. It's not great. Margins incredibly low, and insurance is incredibly high. So that didn't work out. But I ended up being able to quit my job for a brief period of time and live off the firearms training for about 4 months. And then I had this tool that I was using to kind of get my leads and get all my my sales, and I could fill a class. If I posted a class was going to take place on Monday, it'd be full on Saturday, and I could fill Saturday and Sunday on Monday, and so it was really working out pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I thought we were on this kind of community platform. I don't know. Are you familiar with Meetups?
No.
So Meetups is like a community platform that is like kind of like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It's a social platform, but it encourages people to actually get together and meet up.
Oh,
and
cool.
so I had gotten all of my lead flow from somebody else who was running firearms training stuff on Meetups. And he was like, hey, I'm not running these classes anymore. Do you just want my community? Do you want my group?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure. So I got on, I became the coordinator of it. And that's where I was getting all my leads to run my business. And there were some other guys who also wanted to start a training business. And I was very young. I didn't understand the value of having a community.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, you guys can jump on, like you can be community, like you can run your stuff on the program and I'll run my stuff. And the more the merrier, like, you know, it's a information sharing. Well, I'll share this. And they stole my entire community and kicked me out of it.
Oh,
and
wow.
made it so that I couldn't contact any of my customers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that business is actually running really strongly right now in Arizona. I'm not going to point out who it is, but
oh my gosh.
So so that was like my first kind of kick in the teeth of like, hey, business is kind of war, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
if you are, it's not a, I think if you do it right, it's a everybody can win type game. But there are definitely those people out there that are trying to take your lunch money.
It's like network television drama level. Of like,
it was wild,
shady.
It was wild. So that killed the firearms business. I was making kind of good money, and then it went away. End of the day, it wasn't a great business model to begin with. But the martial arts school was kind of still going. So I was like, that was cool. And then, I kind of got derailed off the law enforcement thing. I was going to a job. I wasn't enjoying my job in law enforcement. I got in a really bad car wreck. I smashed up my legs. I was working graveyard shifts. I was 16-hour shifts. And then I was trying to teach martial arts in the evenings before going to work. And it was killing me. And I got in a really bad car wreck, falling asleep in the car on the way to work. And I broke both my legs, smashed up my face, and my surgeon had to come in and replace a bunch of the left side of my face and my skull.
Wow.
So I was messed up. I was messed up bad. I kind of had this like revelatory moment that I was like, I really don't want to die driving to a job that I don't like.
Sure.
So I was like, I need to get rid of this job. I need to get something else. And up until that point, I'd kind of done the entrepreneurial thing because for all the kind of like freedom benefits of it, I was like, I really want to build a thing so that I can be be my own man. I can be my own boss. I can be free.
Yeah.
And that after the car wreck, I was like, no, I need to figure out how to make money.
Yeah.
like this is like I want to learn how to make money. This is what I need to do. And
Yeah.
so I didn't really know where to go or what to do. I went back at one point in my law enforcement career. I went back and tried to do business school in college because I thought, oh, they'll teach me how to do business in business school.
Right.
So I did business administration with a focus on marketing.
Okay.
And it was very expensive. I went to a private school, like $10,000 a semester or something like that. And halfway through the second semester, my professor, like, yeah, I was telling him, hey, I'm also working on this thing. Wow, totally forgot I was even doing this.
Yeah.
I was working on this syndicate real estate thing that my brother had gotten into, and so I was helping him out with it. So I don't know if you know how syndicate real estate works.
No.
Basically, they take private money from investors, and everybody pools it into a fund, and they go out and they do real estate. They were doing house flips, and they were buying, holding real estate, and renting it out and stuff like that.
And then sharing the profits amongst the group.
Right. Everybody
Gotcha.
put money in, right? So I was like, I'm doing this real estate syndication thing. I'm helping my brother with that. I mean, I was helping him very little with it at the time. They had me doing the cold calling of the houses that they were trying to buy. So I was that guy that calls you and says, "Do you want to sell your house for way less than it's worth?"
Those are real people you're telling me.
You want to sell your house? Yeah, that was me for a little bit. So I apologize to anybody.
I probably hung up on you a couple times.
There were a couple thousand of them. There were a couple thousand people that I called. So I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this syndicate real estate thing with my brother, and my brother was actually an equity owner in the fund. And my professor pulls out his business card and is like, well, if you ever need a real estate agent, I'm also a real estate agent on the side. And I was like, this is not the place to learn about making money. Like, this is not the place to learn about business. No offense to real estate agents, but that this guy was a lawyer with multiple degrees. He was teaching business law, and then he had just gotten his real estate license and was like hawking his real estate business at me in class. And I was like, I'm paying $10,000 a semester to learn from somebody who is not even on my level yet. And I was like 24, 25 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy definitely doesn't know where it's at. So like, why am I learning from him? And so that was the second time I dropped out of college. So I was like, college is just not the thing. It's not going to work. But, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Where was I at? Oh man, I got off track.
It's kind of like what?
College.
Yeah. We're talking about.
So my thought was like, hey, college is not the place to go. Law enforcement was good while I was there. I actually really enjoyed it. But I wasn't gonna make money doing that. It was like I really want to figure out how to make money. And so my thought was like technology. Like technology companies make a lot of money. I could get a job with a technology company. And so I got a level 1 entry level job in an IT company answering phones. And the thing that I found in the IT industry was you can get certifications. And the rules are not like they are for college. In college, you have to show up to class, and you have to be nice to the professor, and you have to like look nice. I feel like that's less nowadays than it was back when I was there, but you have to like look nice, and you have to meet people and shake hands, and they were
play the part of the college
showing
student.
up. Yeah, you got to play the whole part of the college student. In the IT sector, it was like, hey, $300 for the textbook. If you can pass the test, you win.
Nice.
And I was like, I love that game. Like, let's play that over and over again. I was like, I'll knock out 10 certs in 2 months, man. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
So I just started knocking out certifications. I got a promotion every 3 to 6 months for 5 years in that company.
Nice.
Just crushing certs and like building my skills and kind of growing and learning more and more and more about technology infrastructure. And the big unlock was when I got into this technical account manager role. And the technical account manager role, for people who don't really understand how it works, is you're basically you're basically controlling, you're a sales guy.
Okay.
But you're controlling the life cycle of the customer throughout their relationship with the company.
Okay.
So your regular sales guy that's maybe cold calling people or something, he gets a warm lead. He's going to bring it to the technical account manager, and you're going to be their kind of first contact. You're going to introduce them to operations. You're going to sell them the thing, work with solutions architecture to sell them the thing, introduce them to operations. Once they've been introduced to operations, you'll check back in on that customer regularly to make sure that they're still going, and then you'll upsell them stuff, and sell them additional services or additional products that they also need, and you manage the life cycle of the customer. And as an entrepreneurial guy, when I got into that job, I was like, oh my gosh, now I see how business works.
Yeah.
This is the life cycle of a business. Now I can go and build a business that's actually something, because I've got the experience. And I was like, that's what I needed to learn, the experience that I needed to learn how to go run my own business.
Yeah.
So that was huge. And the experience that I got learning that in the technology sector was massive, and just talking with all the people that I got to talk to and doing all the things that I got to do was great. So then here we are. So about a year ago, I decided to write the book. And
do we have a title or working title, or is that under wraps?
Yeah, the title is good to go, man. The title is Money is a Lie.
Okay.
And
provocative.
And the subtitle is oh man, it's how learning the truth changed my life.
Okay.
So let's rewind back to the beginning.
Sure.
In I want to say like 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, I was listening to the Tim Ferriss podcast. Familiar with Tim Ferriss? A lot of people are. He's a well-known guy. No, you're not? Oh, man. He's an OG podcaster. Like, I don't think his stuff is really out there a whole lot anymore. But he's like back in the day when podcasting like kind of first became popular. He was like, he had a really big podcast.
Okay.
And he wrote such books as The 4-Hour Workweek, which is an entrepreneurial book about how to run your side hustle while you're working. Yeah.
Yep, I've heard of that.
So I read The 4-Hour Workweek, and I was like, I'm locked in, man. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. I figured out how to get myself a remote job, how to start outsourcing different tasks for different things, so that I could build my side hustle while I'm still working my full daytime job. All that stuff. So I got super into his stuff. Well, on the Tim Ferriss podcast, I heard about he was talking to I think he was talking to Chamath. I'm gonna screw up his last name, Palihapitiya, something like that. Really, another really famous entrepreneurial dude. And they were like, "Have you heard of this Bitcoin thing?" And I was like, "That's interesting, right?" So I mean, back in 2014, 2015, this was like a thing that people were still like, "I don't know, it seems weird. It seems like this. We don't really know what it is, but it was like a penny, and now it's like $2,000."
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, "That's crazy!" Like it had this crazy growth, and so I went super deep into the deep end of like learning about cryptocurrency and monetary engineering and macroeconomics, and like why Bitcoin and cryptocurrency even exists today, and like what are the problems that they're trying to solve. And then when you start figuring out what the problems are they're trying to solve, you dive into this this whole financial system that we currently have now that is wildly complicated. And there's so much depth in there. So I've just been listening to every podcast, reading every book that I can possibly read about macroeconomics, investing philosophies, all these different things. And so that's what the book is about. It's about the last 12 years of my life of just being addicted to learning about macroeconomics and how the financial system currently works, what's good about it, what's not good about it. You know, the book actually goes kind of back to ancient Egypt and like super ethereal concepts of like, you know, the burning question, what is money?
Yeah.
and like kind of like tear it apart and be like, what is it really? Because like we've used this for it, and it's like we've used grain for it in ancient Egypt. In the Roman Empire, salt was money, and so they actually paid the Roman legionnaires in salt, which is in
Wow.
fact where the term salary comes from. It's the monthly allotment of salt the Roman legionnaires received
No
for
kidding.
working in the army. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like it's one of these ridiculous things that I got super addicted to and
Uh-huh.
studied for like 12 years. And whenever I would talk to people at a dinner party, I would start talking about it, and their eyes would start rolling back in their head. And then
Here we go again.
yeah, somebody told me that when you start talking to somebody at a dinner party and their eyes roll back in their head, that's when it's time to write a book.
Okay.
So
I like
I was
that.
like, fair point.
Done.
So yeah, so in November of last year, I started the book. I finished the like kind of core content of it at the beginning of this month, and we kind of launched into the editing process.
Okay. Do you have a timeline for when
So
it's going to be published, or are you self-publishing?
January 1, man. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm January 1 or bust is
Okay.
the answer. I am self-publishing, but I'm going to launch it with the F6 program,
Okay.
with the Nestweiser company, which is kind of the accountability groups and the all the growth and stuff. The first F in F6 is finance.
Okay.
And so I figured I'll launch the financial book January 1 with the program and start writing the fitness book.
Okay. Cool. So then,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get a good picture then of your baby, of the thing that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
now. This is what I'm doing. Give me kind of just like a rundown. You've said Nestweiser, you've said F6. How do those things go together? Are they separate companies? Just talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get more into the minutia of how you go about building a business.
Yeah, for sure. So, and this is actually a really good example because this is a ground up build. So, you know, entrepreneurial people can also buy other businesses. You know, you can just buy into someone else's business, or you can work your way into an equity position to own a business. One of the things you can do is build it from the ground up. And so this is one that I've built from the ground up. And the process of building a business from a ground up is iterative.
Okay.
So no business that was ever successful that I'm aware of launched and at the end was the same thing that it was when it launched.
Okay.
Right. So it's an
Yeah,
iterative
yeah.
process. What you do is you throw something out there and you kind of see, you know, what do people think? What do people like about it? What do people not like about it? You adjust it. You say, hey, do you like this better? Would you like it better if I added this to it? Would you like it better if I added that to it? You get into this idea of A/B testing your ideas when you're launching businesses. And that would be come up with two pretty good ideas and then ask everybody that you possibly can on the internet, which one do you like better? And if they like B better, we're going with B.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you take B and you come up with idea C and you pose those both to the internet and say, which idea do you guys like better? And if they like C better, we're switching to C now. or if they like B better, it's like, yeah, we're sticking with B.
It's like an eye exam. Like which can you see more clearly? This one or this one?
Right?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yes, that's the trick. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. A really good example of how you see this from like a consumer perspective. Have you guys ever seen these mobile app games where you're scrolling, you see, man, that game looks kind of cool. I'm gonna click on it, but then the game doesn't actually exist, or it's not actually a real game, or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are companies that are building a company for the first time. They're testing the game out to see, hey, if a game looked like this, would people click on it? And then if they get a certain number of clicks, they're like, hey, now it's worth us going to actually the trouble of building that game now. And then they come out with later, what I've recently started seeing is people coming out later saying, hey, you know how obnoxious it is when you click on that game that doesn't exist? This one actually exists. That's them iterating that now we've actually built it, right? Now we've actually built it. Now you can come buy the game. But it doesn't make sense for them to spend all the money building the game until they know that people are going to click on it and buy it.
Yeah.
And so that's what they do. They iterate as they start getting more and more clicks, more and more people come in to buy their thing. You know, one of the best things you can do now is, let's say you have a book and you want to try to sell it to people. Well, it's pretty cheap, maybe $10 to build a landing page. And I'm going to see how many people I can get to click buy it now.
Okay.
And when they click buy it now, it's going to fail because they can't buy it now because I haven't written the book yet.
Yeah.
But once I know how many people, if I can get 100,000 people to click on it, cool. Now it makes sense for me to go write the book, build the book.
Invest the time in writing.
Yeah, put it on that thing. And then now when I add marketing dollars onto it to drive people to that website again, I know they're going to click it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the process of building something from the ground up.
Okay.
And so you kind of see that in the weeds of how my thing is currently growing right now. So I started 1 year ago, and I thought I was starting a financial company. I'm writing a financial book. I'm starting a financial company. I'm going to teach people about money, all those crazy weird knowledge that I have about money from being a nerd for 12 years about it. And I realized the vast majority of people did not want to know about money. I was like, Blaine, that's sometimes that just is how it is. Like,
we just want to spend it. We don't want to know anything
most
else.
people don't care that much. They care insofar as it affects their life. You know what I mean? But the kind of the stuff where I get super nerdy about it and go down into my rabbit hole, that's why people's eyes roll back in their head. If you're super interested in that stuff, you can buy that book and read it. It's all in the book, right? But the main core business though is like, what I found is as I started presenting stuff to people, they were saying, I can't, one of the things I ran into is I don't have enough time to get together with you. Like, oh, so time management is a real problem. Check. If I could figure out how to make your time manage better, could you come to a meeting with me?
Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, noted, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, people were like, I can't really focus on money right now. Like, my money is kind of on autopilot, but I have a lot of health problems. Like, I'm going into the doctor, coming out of the doctor all the time, and interesting. So health, fitness, and nutrition, and generally, like, a lot of these health problems, I'm like, the reason that you are unhealthy, unfortunately, is because of your fitness level, and nutrition, and all the depths of all the things that come wrong with nutrition.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool. So people who didn't have those problems had problems with their family. I gotta be with my family. I don't know how to balance my family and my work life, and another problem. And so, we came up with 6 F's that are your core, your core fundamental areas of your life. And that is your finances, which I put number 1 because it's very tough. It's very tough for you to really focus on anything else if you don't have money. If you can throw some money at your fitness, it gets a lot easier. If you can throw some money at your friends and family and your community, it gets a lot easier. Not say that you can't build those things without money, but it gets way easier when you're not worried about money yourself.
Sure.
So finances I put as the first one. The next one is fitness, fitness and nutrition. So we kind of do both of those things. And then we go to faith and mindset. So a lot of people don't even have an income problem. They don't even have a spending problem or a savings problem. They just have a mindset problem. They're not thinking about the problem, right? And so they're ultra stressed out about money, even though they have plenty and their retirement plan is great and everything is set up. They're just stressed out about it. And it's like, you don't even have a money problem. You have a mindset problem. You're not seeing the problem correctly. So faith and mindset is super big. And then we expand out to your family, your friends and community. And then the last metric is your freedom. So we built a dashboard, that allows people to, see all of those, different things. If people want to check it out, they can go to, f6dashboard.io. It's free.
Okay.
You can just, you got to put in your email to create an account, but yeah, if you want to check it out. It's still in beta right now. It may not be free forever, so don't get out the pitchforks if I have to start charging people for it, because the backend database costs money for me to run it. But yeah, it's 6 dashboard. So yeah, it's in beta, still building it out.
I'm looking it up myself.
But yeah, so you can see your key metrics there. your finance, your fitness, your faith and mindset. There's a basic activity tracker where you can kind of put in your own metrics and say, hey, this week I want to work. My metrics are I want to work on my book at least 5 times this week, or 5 hours this week. I want to expand my network by 10 people this week. I'm at 7 out of 10.
Okay.
So rocking that one, and got to remind myself to do billing for the other business that I own, which is a behavioral health counseling clinic.
Okay.
So I have that one on there because I forget to do billing every once in a while, and it messes with our cash flow.
Sure.
So that one's on my board. So then in there you also have like just individual tools. There's an asset allocation tool, so you can put in your net worth and figure out what assets you're allocated to. There's a compound interest calculator, which people have probably seen in the world if they've been around enough kind of finance apps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the app really is it's just a dashboard. It's fairly simple and it's fairly basic. There's nothing really spectacular about the app itself. The thing that's really cool is when you get into the community. And what we're doing is everybody is getting into these communities where you have a cohort of 5 people. It's kind of all based off the idea that you are the amalgamation of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And so if you're trying to level up your life, what you need to do is find 5 people that are higher level individuals that you can check in with on a regular basis and track all these metrics with.
Yeah, like accountability group kind of thing.
For sure. So we've got 4 groups going now, adding another one next week and adding another one next week, and starting to get to escape velocity where it's kind of growing and like really doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the results that we have gotten so far just from doing the accountability groups are wild.
Yeah.
We had 10 people in a group. Of the 10 people in the group, 5 of us lost our day jobs back in February. And everybody in the groups immediately dropped everything they were doing and helped people rebuild their resumes. And we have several HR analytics guys that are in the groups that pulled the thing and said, hey, this is how HR is looking for resumes with AI nowadays. So here's how you update your resume. Everybody that lost their job had a new job in less than like a month and a half.
Wow.
And it was wild.
Yeah. Wow.
To like see the community kind of come together and like, oh, I know somebody who owns a technology company over here that is hiring, just like the network effect, but also just the skill effect. We've had multiple people decide that they want to start launching their business and had, from idea, I think I might want to start a business, to concept to launch to I've made my first dollar really quickly because they're connecting with all these other entrepreneurs. They're like, oh yeah, I've done it 6 times. Here's what you do. Step 1, step 2, step 2, 3, step 4. Here we go. We knock it out. We put it together and then we launch it. It's like, you've got that already if that's something that you want to get after. We had one person who in 9 months lost 70 pounds on our fitness regime.
Wow.
And was also doing the finance regime at the same time, double their net worth in a year.
Wow.
And it was not a small number to begin with. So pretty spectacular with the kind of the financial and investing advice. But it's what happens when you put multiple minds together on your problems rather than just trying to solve them all yourself.
Yeah.
And that was a big unlock that I had when starting to kind of build this business also was, all the other businesses that I'd ever done, I tried to start myself. And I had this idea that I was like, I got to do it on my own. Yeah. I'm going to be a solopreneur.
Yeah.
And then I read this book called The $100 Startup. Great book. It's just a bunch of stories about people who started from nothing and like built something cool. And this thing is not actually mentioned anywhere in the book. It's just my observation. Each chapter is a different story, and there's a whole bunch of stories. And I'm reading the stories, I'm reading the stories, I'm reading the stories. I'm like, there's not a single person in this book that started their thing on their own. Every single story is, well, I had this weird skill, one, and my buddy had this weird skill number 2, and when we put them together, we figured out we could do a business together.
Mm.
Or it's like, hey, I was really into this and my wife was really into this, and when you put them together, it's like we kind of have a business here.
Yeah.
And they launched off. And so when I read that book and I kind of made that realization, I was like, oh, it seems really obvious to me now. But it's like, you cannot build something alone that is as cool as you could build with 5 people.
Yeah.
That all have different skills and different capabilities and different knowledge. And, they're going to bring insights to the table that I could never have even thought of, something that I think is cool, maybe everybody else thinks is not cool. And so yeah, all of, Nest Wiser and the F6 program and the book has been kind of built off of that thesis. That is, we can build cooler stuff if we do it together. And so far it's been proven to be very true. I'm ultra pumped about it. The amount of stuff that people have been able to accomplish because of the groups and because of the accountability and because of the kind of ideas and the mindset that is all going into building this thing is just so much bigger than what any one person could bring to the table,
Yeah. What sort of markers do you look for, have you experienced, where you're like, okay, first this is a side hustle thing, or I've got this idea, I'm just going to fool around with it for a couple hours a week. How do you make that decision, or do you have a process for making the decision of like, okay, I need to spend at least 8 hours a week doing this because it's leading somewhere. Okay, I need to scale back my hours at my day job because I need to invest more time in my business. Are you looking simply at, is this making money? Are you looking at, is this exciting me? How do you go about managing your time with starting up a business?
Yeah. It's going to be different for everyone. So for me, I live out in Santan Valley. It's quite far away from town. I got to be able to do it 100% remote. That might not be as important to somebody who lives in town.
Yeah.
But I got to be able to do it 100% remote. With the accountability groups, maybe we get together once a quarter in town and we'll all hang out in person. But most of the groups are done 100% remote. And for me, I just can't drive. I can't be driving around hustling all the time. That might not be the case for everybody, but that was a hard one for me. And then the other thing that you got to look at is, so that's kind of an example of how does the lifestyle of the business that you're trying to build or get into, maybe you're trying to buy someone else's business. Totally the thing that you do. That's what I did with the clinic. You can buy someone else's business and just run it. You got to look at, does the lifestyle work for me? And then you have to look at, hey, does the money make sense?
Yeah.
And some people will look at a, like a service-based, a grass cutting business. And they're like, well, if I, the maximum, you want to look at like the maximum amount of money that could possibly be made in the business and then assume that you're going to do way less than that.
Okay.
Right. Right. So when I was doing the martial arts business, I was like, hey, if I teach 9 martial arts classes a day and I got 9 kids, per class, or let's say we got 20 because we're maniacs. If you've ever tried to do 20 kids in a martial arts class before, it's rough. It's rough. Right. 5 days a week, you can get about 100, maybe even 100, maybe 120 kids is like a pretty big martial arts school. Okay. So you got 120 kids and they're paying you like $150 a month. You're looking at 180,000. No, $18,000. You got $18,000 a month. Your rent is probably like $5,000 a month. And then your electric is probably, I don't know, 500. You got an air conditioner, fairly big space. You're down 12,500, and you haven't paid for any marketing, you haven't paid for any advertising, you haven't paid for anything else. At the end of the day, if that business absolutely crushes, you're gonna maybe make $10,000 a month. And that's if everything goes right. So you're probably gonna actually in real life do about 50% of that.
Yeah.
So now you're making about $5,000 a month, or you can get a job in technology that makes 10, 12, $13,000 a month.
Right.
It's like running a martial arts business, working, 40, 50, 60 hours a week trying to sell kids martial arts classes doesn't look so hot anymore.
Right.
So you got to look at the total like addressable amount of time that you can do. What, is it scalable? Can I move it out? Is the goal even to make money? Like, I've got a bunch of friends that own martial arts schools, and they just love teaching martial arts. I'm like, fantastic, man. If you can make the bills, if you can make the bills and you love teaching martial arts, great.
Yeah.
That's something, right?
Yeah.
That's something really, really cool. But for me, I kind of want to do something that I can make more money in than in my technology job, which leads to the profit's got to be there.
Right.
So yeah, looking at the total addressable amount of money that you could possibly make, and then assume that you're not going to do that well. Right.
Right.
A lot of people make that mistake, right? When they first start out, they're like, oh, if I could make, $100 a person and there's this many people in the business, that's 10 grand a month. That's going to be great. I'm like, the problem is you're probably only going to hit that about 30 to 45% of the time if you're really good,
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to be realistic with what the actual numbers look like. That's one of the downfalls of entrepreneurial people is we're incredibly optimistic. Right?
Well, I guess you have to be if you're saying
how could it go wrong? I'll just build this thing. Yeah, I'll just build this thing, and it's like it's not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't start a business if you're like, it's probably not going to work.
Right, for sure. Well, I do all the time, man. Have you ever? One of my favorite conversations, if you ever get a chance to look up Elon Musk telling Joe Rogan about the rocket that they had catch the when they landed the rocket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was telling Joe Rogan about it before they did it, and he was like, "This is how much money we've invested. It's like X amount of $1 billion." It's like, we're going to launch this rocket into the space that's 20 stories tall. And when it comes back down, we have to figure out a way to land it. And so we built this massive robot arm that is going to reach out and catch this 20-story building. And he pauses for a minute and he's like, it's probably not going to work the first time we do it. It was just like, that was like embodied the entrepreneurial spirit right there. That's like, we're going to do it. It's probably not going to work.
But won't it be awesome when it does work? Right.
Right. So
that's the whole thing.
Yeah. The trick of entrepreneurship is try, fail, iterate, fail, iterate, fail, iterate, fail, iterate, fail. If you roll the dice enough times, you're going to hit it eventually, and you'll find something that works.
Something that works. Cool.
Yeah, but it's the process of it's that process of finding what works, and you got to love the game.
Yeah. So take me into that groundwork part of building a business. So I have an idea, and I don't see my idea being implemented in the world. So then I think to myself, this is something that could either make money, or this is just something that people want, or I think it's something that people might want. What's my next step?
So the next step would be codifying that idea into something that looks like an advertisement.
Okay.
Maybe it's a brochure. Maybe it's a landing page for your website. If it's an internet-based business, maybe it's a landing page for a website. If it's a door-to-door type thing, maybe it's a brochure. I just want to see the idea on there.
Okay.
And then I want to ask 1,000 people if they think it's a cool idea.
Okay.
And if they don't think it's a cool idea, I want to know why.
Okay.
Right. So it's like, hey, is my idea cool? And they're like, not so much. Or the other thing that you got to get ahead of is a lot of people will say your idea is cool, and then you go build the thing, and then they don't want to pay for it.
Right.
So you got to say, is my idea cool? Would you be willing to pay me for it right now?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And like make it right now. Like, I've got a contract right here. So flyer, contract. Will you buy the thing and give me money right now?
Yeah.
And then when I build it, I'll give it to you.
Right.
Right. That's the contract. And if you can't sell any of those contracts, what you should be getting is, hey, if you don't like it, what would have to be true in order for you to like it and pay for it?
Yeah. Okay.
And people will tell you, they'll be like, oh, well, the reason I don't need that is because of X, Y, Z, P, D, and Q.
Yeah.
My big thing, I actually really investigated very deeply starting a hedge fund to do custody and custodianship for people's cryptocurrency. Because I started out trying to sell people education about how to self-custody their own crypto. And I had this whole coaching program that was like, I'm going to teach you how to take custody of your own cryptocurrency. And I'm going to teach you all about cryptography, and I'm going to teach you all this other stuff. And the vast majority of people that wanted to know about it were retired in their 60s or 70s. And when I started talking about cryptography, I was like, log into your computer. And they were like, how do I log in?
Yeah.
This is not going to work. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like the people who had the money to pay for the information didn't have the technical acumen to learn it.
Yeah.
So this as an education company doesn't work. However, all of them that I told about it were like, hey, if I just gave you $100,000, would you do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was not expecting that at all. I was like, what that would be a hedge fund.
Yeah.
And I could do that. Like there's a bunch of regulation, there's a bunch of regulatory compliance stuff. And so I kind of dove into this whole thing, learning about how I start a hedge fund and I need a lawyer and I need all this other stuff. Right. And so that may or may not happen still, because I was able to get about $1 million in commit to the hedge fund.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, about $1 million to $2 million is what I would need in order for it to make sense for me to do it. So it might still happen. It's on the horizon. There's some things going out. There's like the hedge fund might still happen. But it was like, I wouldn't have even known that was possible, or that was even an idea or anything, until I went out and tried the first thing. And so I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. They'll see the first thing go out and they'll say, oh, the first thing failed. And I was like, no, the first thing didn't fail. The first thing showed me what people actually wanted.
Yeah.
And so that education, that kind of education, crypto education product was not what people actually wanted. But what they did want was a crypto hedge fund, and they exist. Other people have them, but I was reaching an addressable market that hadn't been reached by other hedge funds before.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, and I thought the thing that I was building was super cool. It was this education product. I was like, nobody's out there that's like teaching you all this information about cryptography. And I was like, well, there's a reason nobody's teaching you that. Because you can't make money doing it. You can't learn it. Right? All the people that have the money are unfortunately not technologically savvy enough to understand it. There's just not a market for it. However, those people do have a lot of money, and they're willing to take a bet on something because they've watched a lot of CNN, watched a lot of Fox. They're like, crypto seems to be a good idea, but I don't understand it. So can you just take my 150, 200 grand and invest it for me? I'm like, ugh. A lot of regulatory compliance, a lot of paperwork, a lot of other stuff later. Like spend 6 months, 8 months, or a year figuring out how to do that, and then come back and say, yes, I can do that for you, because now I figured out how to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. And so what it sounds like is, depending on the complexity of the idea, it could take a long time to being at like a launch point. Or if it's just like, hey, this is a product I can make that people will buy, maybe it only takes a couple months to get off the ground and start the thing, right? Like it just depends on the depth, or like whether or not the tools even exist yet to build the thing that you're wanting to do, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Does the technology exist? Are you trying to get into something where the technology doesn't exist? Or, the other thing is, I have a buddy who's a plumber, and he works for the government. We were kind of investigating this idea of selling solar to people. It's this high ticket item. You don't actually have to deliver. You can sell the contract and then resell that contract to a solar company that's actually going to do the installations for you. So it's
nice.
It's mostly marketing and advertising expense. And marketing and advertising is like a thing that I'm super interested in getting deeper into, and a thing that my brother knows a lot about. So we were thinking about doing those things. And people are like, man, we cannot, like, we don't need solar. Like, we can't find a plumber. Like, oh, you get a plumber? I was like, hey, I got a buddy who's a plumber. Like, I'll call him real quick and like,
Yeah.
we'll get this done tomorrow. Like, so
Yeah.
sometimes, sometimes, it's something that is like you're trying to build this super complicated thing, and you realize that the thing that people want is very simple.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, I can turn that around tomorrow. Like, we'll rebuild all the advertising, we'll rebuild all the branding, we'll kick this thing out tomorrow, and we'll send it.
Yeah.
But yeah, more often I would say the thing that you're building is what you're going to find is when you try to address the market with it, there's going to be some unforeseen issue that makes it unfeasible for you to deliver that to people for one reason or another, or people don't want it for one reason or another. Maybe because people are not nearly as much cryptography and monetary engineering nerds as I am. They don't care about all the stuff that I care about. So I'm like, I would buy that. If somebody had this super in-depth, program that could teach me more about cryptography and teach me more about monetary engineering, I would buy that because I think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
But the general population is not gonna buy it, and they would rather invest in a hedge fund.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, now I got to go build that thing.
Yeah. Finding a market seems like it's a beast all in itself, because like one thing that I think about a lot that I'm interested in is like just the fact that just because I wouldn't spend money on a thing doesn't mean there's not an entire market that will spend money on a thing. The perfect example that I bring up a lot for that, and any of my listeners who pay for this service, I apologize in advance, but there's a thing I've noticed that people will sell and buy of trash can washing. Like people will come and just pressure wash your trash cans, and in my head I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Why would you spend money for some like a kid to spray your...
Do you keep your trash cans outside?
Yeah.
Like outside of your garage?
Yeah.
So my trash cans are in my garage. Every time I get in my car, it's smelly.
Okay. Okay.
Right? I don't pay for it either. I have a pressure washer because it's way cheaper.
Right.
But I get why people would
this
pay
interview's
for it.
over.
Time and energy. It's time and energy, man. No. So like there's little things like that you don't realize, that's like that's different for other people until you actually go out there and address the market. You don't realize that some people keep their dumpsters inside their garage right next to their car where they...
Yeah, and then it's stinky.
That's the only place for me to put my dumpsters,
Yeah.
And so it's like,
well, hey,
that's
if you're out there and I just called something you paid for dumb, I apologize.
No.
I've been shown the light.
So conversely, I would never give my money to a hedge fund ever in my life. It's the worst deal that you could possibly do. They take 2% of everything that you have every year, and they take 20% of your gains every year. It's ridiculous. And when I go, like I thought that what people wanted was education, how to do it themselves. And the reality is there's a reason why hedge funds make tons and tons of money. There are actually more hedge funds now than there are McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah, there's more licensed hedge funds in the U.S. right now than there are McDonald's franchise stores. The market for, which also says something about the economy, which I'm hopefully trying to solve with my book and with the accountability programs to help people to kind of elevate themselves. That says something about the economy when there's more of an addressable market for ultra high net worth individuals and less for food, like affordable food.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's rough, Yeah. And so that was really the big catalyst to kind of kicking off me deciding that I was going to write the book, deciding that I was going to start the business. I was like the core problem that I really wanted to solve. And I think that's a thing that will stay the same pretty much forever. If you start a business, especially that's a passion project and something that you really believe in, and it should be if you're going to do it, because I wouldn't recommend it to people. It's like life crushing work to build something from the ground up. So it's like you really got to believe in it if you're going to do it. And so the core thing that I wanted to solve is this massive debt problem that we have in America. Both government debt that is completely out of control. People don't understand it. They don't think about it. They don't want to think about it. And then personal debt. And it's like, and then also business debt. There's all kinds of statistics and stuff, and a lot of the stuff's in my book, but like, you know, it's wild. Something like 45 or 50% of Americans couldn't handle $1,000 emergency without going into debt.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
That's rough, man. That's rough. And the vast majority of the time, it's not because they don't have it's not because they don't have the income.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they don't have access to the tools that they could be saving. It's honestly, everybody blames it on inflation. It's not that much because of inflation. It's the education. It's their understanding of value and how value works and how value shifts through the system. Mm-hmm. And if you understand all of those things, you will just immediately make better decisions about where you put your money, where you capitalize your money, how you save your money. You know, is it a good time to buy a house or is it not a good time to buy a house? Well, because inflation is here and interest rates are here and house prices are going this way because people are moving from California, and like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of people just want to forget about that. But I'm like, all these things are super important.
Yeah.
So anyway, the problem that I want to solve is the debt problem.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I even just recently kind of figured out is it's not just a consumer debt problem. By the way, if you want to get out of consumer debt, you know, follow the Dave Ramseys of the world. That's a different thing. He's already got a massive business that deals with that problem. That's not really my thing. My thing is the business debt. Mid-sized companies, any company from like 0 to probably 100, maybe even 500 employees, hell, even 1,000 probably. They don't make any money. They run their balance sheets in these businesses the same way that people are running their lives. And we've heard all these personal financial stories about how most people can't handle $1,000 emergency. Most people have the average credit balance that people are carrying is like $6,000 a month, and that's on like 29% interest. You know, accruing all the time. Yeah, it's insane. And that's just the average. The wild swings are nuts, man. The first couple of people that I helped out when I was doing kind of financial services and coaching people that way, you know, $250,000 in debt, $300,000 in debt, you know, easy. And I mean, that's real common. And so I helped those people out. And wild story about that. People that have joined the community now that are now putting, we're making $90,000 a year, are now putting $8,000 per month towards their debt pay down. Freaking super cool. Love them. I'm not going to call their names out, but high five them. They're crushing it in the community. So anyway, so I'm super pumped about that because they were one of the first couples that came in and took my first financial course. So that was super, super fun. But like, that's a massive problem. But anyway, the businesses, these mid-sized businesses, anything that's like under the Magnificent Seven, even S&P 500 businesses, they're not making any money. They're running their lives the same way that those people are running their lives with debt, and the businesses are running their business that way. They're rolling their debt every 4 years, acquiring new debt, using new debt to pay off the old debt, and cycling money around in the business, but there's actually no growth. And so that is a much bigger problem than a lot of people realize, because a lot of people are holding those businesses in their 401k. So even if you are not a entrepreneurial type person, you don't want to start your own business, you've just got a job and you're investing in your 401k, you have massive exposure to that problem as well. And so basically what I do in the financial program is show people how to limit their exposure to business debts, mutual funds, financial advisor fees, things of that nature that are just absolutely destroying their savings and their investments. And so it's like, most people can be completely out of consumer debt kind of regardless of their situation in like 18 months.
Wow.
And then after that 18 months, it really only takes you about 5 to 10 years of like investing a good amount. You can live that whole time, but like invest super hard for about 5 to 10 years and you'll be set for life. If you understand how to do it. But the problem is the vast majority of people are paying banks and services to invest their money for them. And then those banks and those services are being irresponsible with it.
Yeah.
So
On
that's
top
the
of
problem that
charging
I'm
fees
trying
to
to
do
solve.
it.
Yeah. And so that's the problem that I'm kind of trying to solve for the everyman, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I started set out to solve. And then I also found out that they also have all these nutrition problems because the way that everything that we've been taught in school about food is wrong. So
Right.
it's like, oh shoot. So it's like, do we need a balanced diet with all this other stuff? And it's like, here's why the balanced diet thing is wrong. And, like, everything about the food pyramid was a total sham because it all has to do with money and, how they were making money at the time and things of that nature. And it's like, okay, well, what are we learning, scientifically about food now and about nutrition? The other thing I see is like, in the fitness section, I've been talking about the money section a lot, but in the fitness section, all these Instagram posts, man, telling you that you gotta crush it. You gotta wake up and kill it every day. You gotta crush it every day. I run 25 miles a day. I run 30 miles a day. I'm like, you're looking at the top 0.01% of individuals.
Right.
And it's like, guys, to be in the top 9% or even the top 2%, if you do resistance training 3 days a week and steady state cardio 2 days a week and hit training on Saturday, you're in the top 2%.
Yeah.
30-minute lifting sessions, five exercises, 5 sets of 5, 2-minute rest in between. That's a spectacular way to work out. If you're not in the top 2%, you're just getting started. It's like figure out your macros, figure out your nutrition, and it's like, hey, 30 minutes of lifting 3 days a week, and you will drop weight like that.
Yeah.
If your nutrition is on point, 30 minutes of lifting 3 days a week. You do not have to kill yourself in the gym to be in really good shape. So you just got to be consistent. You got to track your goals. And you got to have accountability. And most of these problems, like all these problems that we're kind of talking about, whether it's financial or fitness or faith and mindset, it all comes down to psychology. The vast majority of the reason that people have financial problems, it's not because they don't have the income. It's honestly not because they don't know what they're doing wrong. Almost every person I got into a meeting with was like, yeah, I need to spend less and I need to save more and I got to pay off my dets. I was like, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. The number one thing that I did in all of those sessions, helping people kind of reframe their thing, was I pulled from the behavioral health company that I own, the psychology clinic. I took stuff from that clinic and I applied that in the kind of financial meetings. And I was like, the very first thing I would let people lay out my whole, over and over and over. I did a bunch of these. I would have people lay out their whole financial situation. And I sent them the documents earlier. It's net worth statement and a budget. That's all you need to do. And I give them the instructions of how to fill out each of those. And they would come into these meetings and it's like guy and his wife and they would just be downtrodden and upset. And like, we've just been looking at our financials it's so bad. Like, we don't know what to do. Yeah. And I would just say, hey, you guys, you can solve this, right? And like, really? It's like, yeah, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it was, I told him, this isn't that bad, right? We can solve this.
There's always a worse situation.
There's always a worse situation. I'm like, there's some stuff that's not great. Like, I don't like this. Yeah. But here's how we can fix that, and it's going to take you about 2 months. Yeah. So knock that one out. That's the worst one. And then you prioritize the better ones. And here's how we get these things out. And then it gets cool. Then it gets exciting. Then we can start putting money into stuff that's going to go up in value rather than down. And we get all this stuff that's moved from our debt that's going down and down and down and making it worse and worse and worse. And we start putting it into things that are going to go up and up and up. And here's how you play with that. And now it starts getting fun. And you get excited about putting stuff in and planning your future. And we dream about all the stuff that we're going to buy when we're retired and we have multiple millions of dollars and stuff. And, it's, and so it's like, then they leave the meeting with that feeling.
Yeah. Like we're going somewhere. Like there's a trajectory.
Oh my
here.
God, man. It was the most fun I ever had in my life doing those like kind of financial turnaround courses. If anybody wants to do one with me, I'm for sure down to do it again.
Yeah.
Those financial turnarounds, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. The first time somebody paid me to do that, I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do forever now. Like I'll always do that. If anybody asks me, hey, do you want to do a financial audit, financial turnaround for me? I'm like, I'm there. I'll on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and drive to you. Like where you want to do it, you know? So it's a ton of fun to show people like, hey, there's hope. Like, you know what you need to be doing. You know, all you're doing is avoiding making that kind of tactical plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then honestly, when it gets hard, you need somebody to be in your corner and believe in you.
Yeah.
And most people just don't have that when it comes to finance. And a lot of people don't have that when it comes to fitness. There's personal trainers and coaches out there and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't have it when it comes to fitness. A lot of people don't have it when it comes to faith and mindset. They don't have an individual that they can reach out to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the early talks when we were talking about putting these groups together was like, and I know you're a church guy and a lot of the guys in the groups are. I was like, it's a small group that's just not in a religious context.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what we're solving for people. We're solving faith and mindset problems. And we're talking about difficult life issues. We're talking about, you know, when I lost my job in March, I was one of the guys that lost basically everybody got fired in the entire technology sector when that kind of big dip in the market happened around February, March, and Nvidia dropped like 4% one day and whatever. And like all the big technology companies were freaking out and they're firing everyone. A bunch of us lost our jobs. And the day I lost my job, the accountability groups were still kind of like a new idea. But we'd been going for a couple weeks. And I just kind of got on the group, and I was coming from a position where I was in a technology company that was potentially going to go public in a very short period of time. And I had a pretty high position. I was probably going to get stock options and go public and retire and have a ton of money, and everything was going to be great. And then immediately it's like, you're not getting paid Friday.
Yeah.
Like when you were supposed to get paid on Friday, that's gone.
Yeah.
And we're also going to claw back 20% of your 401k.
Wow.
And we're also going to claw back a bunch of the commissions that we owe you because we don't have the money to pay it because the business is going under. And so I'm like, I immediately went from like everything is the best and I am the king of the world to I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
And I opened up my computer and I was like, man, got on with the accountability guys, and there's actually 3 dudes in that group that are all HR analytics guys that search for people. All 3 of them were like, I'm gonna drop everything that I'm doing, send me your resume, I'm gonna like reformat it for AI, and like then I'm gonna send to my buddy who's gonna redo this so that it like creates the back end. I don't even know what they do, but like recreate the back end so that when AI is scrubbing stuff, it will find the correct keywords for 3 different types of jobs that you could be eligible for. And then I'm going to send it to my other buddy who's going to do this. And then they send it back to me. And they were like, okay, now here's how you send it to HR companies. Like this and this and this. And I was like, I thought I was the coach in this in this accountability call. Like you guys just saved my life. You know what I mean? Like you guys just totally turned everything around.
Yeah.
And then one of the HR guys lost his job. New job in 1 week.
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody just like kicked in, helped him out, helped him not feel down anymore when he was feeling really down. But also just like the encouragement to get back up, but also the tactical help that comes from having that cohort of like high performing individuals. We also have another guy that started a business, and immediately like he's like, I don't really know like how to start a business. Like you guys have all inspired me because you're all doing these businesses and stuff. And he's like, what should we do? And I was like, oh, well, you need to file for your LLC. And then after that, you're going to get a bank account. You need a bank account to get your LLC. You're going to want a website first and then get your email. And he's like, well, I think I want to get an email first. I was like, no, you don't. Because if you do your email first, then you're going to build your email, then you're going to build your website. And when you try to attach your email to the domain afterwards, it's going to be a complete nightmare.
Okay.
So it's like,
Yeah.
even if you're not going to build the website or send anybody to the website, build the website first, put your email on the domain so that you have a business domain.
Yeah.
And then people will appreciate you. And here's all the reasons why having a good business domain is a good thing. And it only costs you like $4. So, don't worry about it. So it's like we were able to guide him to where it's like he had all of the stuff that, the first time I did it took me 6 months to figure out how to do. And it's like, we can have you a business spun up next week, man. Let's roll,
Yeah.
So it's been a ton of fun to see kind of what it started as was just kind of like financial knowledge, financial education, doing the audits and the turnarounds, helping people with debt, to now it's this like whole like life mastery network / community of people. We're doing
big, comprehensive.
We keep it to 5 people per group. That's the regular recurring groups. But we're now getting big enough to where it's like, hey, we're going to start doing monthly where everybody gets to meet each other. We're going to name all the different groups. So you have like a team name and a mascot.
Okay,
and then we'll get together once a month and everybody can meet everybody from all the other teams.
Which is full circle back to your LAN parties with the jerseys and the teams.
LAN parties and jerseys and teams and stuff, man. Yeah, and if you get if you mess around with the F6 dashboard, like I said, it's a lot cooler when you're actually in the community, and there's actually another update dropping on Monday that's gonna change a bunch of stuff. But I also have the like challenges section. So you can hop into the challenges section and do like a 6-day fix your finances challenge, and we'll have the 6-day fitness challenge. It's just daily activities that you can do to massively update your stuff, and a lot of tactical information in there too. That's what we're doing with F6, man. It's been a wild ride. I've been doing for context, I've been doing like 17, 18-hour days for we're just about out a year right now. Pre-revenue, no money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like for anybody who's like thinking about like, oh, I think I'm gonna start something up. It's like you have to believe in the thing enough to do 18 months of work for no money. And it's like we're just about getting to a place where it's like it's almost to a point where we can take this one and we can actually do like a soft launch and then a hard launch. It's going to launch in January where everything goes live. We're doing a soft launch in November, and then we'll launch in January, and hopefully it'll work.
Yeah.
But as Elon Musk told Joe Rogan,
probably not gonna work.
Probably won't work the first time we try it. We gotta iterate, man.
Yeah. So how do people find you or connect with you if they're interested just from hearing all this? They go, is it Nestwiser, or do they go to that dashboard?
Yes. So nestwiser.life/F6 is kind of the F6 program. That's like our flagship thing. And it's pretty expensive, but we also have cheaper stuff. People can find me at Nestwiser LLC on Instagram.
Okay.
And so you can shoot me a message there. You can also go to the F6 if you're interested in any of this stuff. A lot of the other products like accountability groups and some of the other things that we have like in beta right now, they're not displayed on the website, but you can go to the F6 page and you just put in your email. I'm not going to charge you or anything. You just put in your email and hit me up, or you can shoot me an email at austin@nestwiser.life.
Awesome.
And get people plugged into accountability groups. We got another one kicking off. It's going to be Mondays, Arizona time at 6 p.m. But yeah, I bring people in and I have them take a personality quiz, and then I put them in a group based on their personality type. Kind of the type of work they do. Are they going to be compatible with other people, and are they also going to have kind of cross skill sets? Like I don't want to put everybody in the same room that has the same skill sets and the same knowledge and the same everything. I want to have like cross compatibility in the group. But I do a really intense job about making sure that we're building tight groups, like people that are going to get along, but also people that are different enough that it creates that like necessary friction to spark really good conversation and stuff like that. So you might not be able to get a group right away because the process takes a little bit of time to like find some more people. But I do have a lot of people that have done like, hey, this sounds really cool. I want to do this. And I've got 4 buddies that want to do it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, sweet, we'll kick it off next week. You know what I mean? If you want to bring 4 buddies with you and check out the program and also be connected to the wider group, the wider community and the other groups, then it's totally on the table. So yeah. Awesome. Probably the best way would be Austin@nestwiser.life.
Cool. Yeah, I'll drop all those in the episode description. So if you're listening to this, links to those things will all be in the description. So, Austin, I appreciate you taking the time, man. That's Austin Linderer, business owner, entrepreneur, author, financial advisor.
There you go. Right.
Yeah. Lifestyle coach, whatever.
Martial arts instructor.
Martial arts instructor.
Cop,
there we go.
Firearms guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Love
it. So again, Austin, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, buddy. You take it easy.
All right. You as well.